All right, we are live on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, 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 everybody. Hello.
Can you see us on Facebook just to confirm? Just make sure.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Controls over here. All right, all right. We got a hot one tonight, y'all. We got a hot one tonight. Got some real good stuff for you tonight. Got some guests tonight. We'll rock it out. Got some family members. So, y'all welcome to the Intermittent Fasting Show, the Night Brothers Intermittent Fasting Show.
Want to say hello to Cheryl Brooks, who just jumped on board. How you doing? I hope everything is going well with you. As you come on board, please say hello. We're glad to have you on board tonight. We have a very interesting show. There's going to be a lot of great information, and we look forward to sharing that with you. Please don't forget to like and share the broadcast, and feel free to ask your questions below as we move forward as well.
Welcome to the show. It's showtime, baby. We got some hot land up in here tonight. Got some Charm City up in here tonight. Got some fans. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hugh, how you been doing tonight, brother?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. How about yourself?
Wonderful as always, my friend. Wonderful as always. So.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Glad to hear that.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Joanne Jenkins, how you doing tonight? Good to have you on board as well.
Got Joanne out there? How you doing,
Joanne
bro?
Jenkins in the house. Glad to have you guys with us tonight. Like I said, it's going to be a very interesting show. We're going to share some good information tonight, stuff that I hope you guys can use. Man, every time I see that picture, I trip out, man, how we both transitioned from where we were to now. I still find it amazing.
It is crazy that you was a big boy, man. You was a big boy, Q.
Oh, no doubt.
It's funny now.
Hey, you guys feeling me on that? Oh, yeah, no question about it.
So welcome to the show. This is the Night Brothers Intermittent Fasting Show. We welcome y'all every Tuesday night. We kind of hyped up the graphics tonight a little bit. Hope you like it. Trying to keep it live and keep it mixed up. My brother Quavy Knight and myself, Lenny Knight. Quavy, let's talk about yourself a little bit. I got Q out here walking. You can see that. This is what he do.
Just getting it in, that's all, brother. Getting it in.
All cut up. Q, what is the weight loss now? 88 pounds, but what is it now in a year's time?
Oh man, I'm sitting at 95 pounds right now, man.
Ooh, boy. So,
95 pounds.
So
and still going down.
You think you're gonna hit the 100 mark and win?
I would say definitely by the end of the month, maybe. No, I say by the end of the month, I would be at the 100-pound mark, no question about it. Because I'm trying to slow it down, I don't want to lose too much more, and I just gradually, I'm losing maybe a pound a week now, something like that. Slowing it down. So I'd say I'd hit that by the end of the month.
You got a whole new wardrobe now, huh?
Oh, no question about it. But that's one of the reasons I'm trying to slow it down, because I don't want to do that again.
No doubt, no doubt.
Oh, and our co-host, my little brother, Lenny Knight, man. Lenny's just been doing a fantastic job. Lenny has lost over 45 pounds in the last year. And you guys see him out there. Lenny was out there. He's an avid runner. He's been fasting for a couple of years. His favorite protocol is a 20-hour fast with a 4-hour feeding window. He exercises 4 or 5 times a week. His diet is 70% vegetarian, 30% pescatarian. Alcohol, yeah, he will have his wine sometimes and beer. No prescribed medications though. So he does not smoke at all. So.
Well, Q, we hit a milestone tonight.
Oh yeah, great.
Can you believe we've done 10 shows already?
Wow, man, time is flying. 10th show already, guys. Come on, let's give ourselves a hand for that. I'm very happy to see that we're at that 10th show already.
And hope we can keep it going.
Yeah.
So I want to give the shout out to the ladies, because people are really joining this protocol, Q.
Yes, they are. Cheryl Hunt, Joanne Jenkins. We have Ashley Knight. We also have Kimberly Queen, friend of mine, and also Deborah Wilson, Tori Walton, Wanda Burton Powell, Paris Lane was a long timer.
Paris is all the way out on the West Coast doing
All
this.
the way out on the West Coast, yes, out in the San Francisco area.
And we definitely got to give a shout out to the fellas tonight.
Oh, no question about it. We got Mr. Keith Colbert.
That brother,
that brother's just killing it, man. Keith is just killing it right now. Sean Strain, good buddy. Carlos Rice. Lenny Rice. Lenny Knight.
Last week's guest,
Arden Smith. Hey, Arden Smith's out there tonight. How you doing, Arden? Good to see you, brother.
Arden, what's up, my friend? What's up?
How you doing? And Flower Blossom, how you doing tonight too? Good to see you on board as well.
Q, I convinced one of my co-workers to jump in. So her name is Gladys Young. She started last week.
Oh, welcome, Gladys. Welcome. Welcome to the fasting lifestyle. Excellent.
She came to work with this lunch, and she said, this is my lunch. And she got her own window. She's doing like a 10 to 6 type of thing. She breaks her fast at 10 in the morning and stops it at 6 at night. So she got a
beautiful. 16 and 8. That's a 16 and 8 then. Great.
Here's the incredible thing. Lost 5 pounds in 7 days.
Wow, man. That's for people who don't believe this really works. They're just unaware of really how powerful intermittent fasting can really be for you.
Y'all give us some likes and love to you out there. It's okay to give the woman some likes and love.
Oh yeah, definitely got to give her some love on that. Congratulations on you, Gladys, and we hope to have you on the show soon. So the question now is who's next? Who wants to lose 30 pounds, 40 pounds? Raise your hand. Jump on board. Jump on in, because this is, you know what? This is a movement. It really is. It's a movement. It's a movement for those who really want to be healthier. You know, want to live a healthier lifestyle. And it's not a diet, as we always say. This is not a diet, but we're adapting a lifestyle.
Yes, indeed. McLean, you got anybody you know down there that want to jump into this? Or Lenny, you got anybody in Baltimore you know want to jump into this?
Oh, I got some people. I got the funny thing is I've been talking about it a little bit, and a lot of people are looking at my Facebook page. They look at my Facebook page and they're like, oh, what is he doing? So I got some people.
All righty. Well, I want to say hello to Keith Queen. He just jumped on tonight. And Mimi Clark, she's on tonight. How you doing? Good to see have both of you on board. Like I said, we're going to cover some great information tonight. So let's get into it. But I want for you guys to just like, share, and subscribe to this podcast, to this show. It helps us to build an audience. As we build an audience, we get to spread this message to more people. And truly, that's what it's all about. It's not about propping either one of us up, but it's to helping a community. And a community of like-minded believers who are all striving for the same thing, and that's better health through intermittent fasting. Well, we have a couple of things we're going to do tonight. The number one thing, Lenny, tell them what's that number one thing, Lenny Knight?
Out of the 3 subjects tonight, number one is we want to start sharing some success stories of people that's doing this thing, having some success. And because if you're out there viewing and you might be straddling the fence or you might be dabbling with this, we want to show you that this works. So we got a couple brothers on here tonight, one from Baltimore, one from Atlanta, GA, and they're going to break down, some of the things that they've been doing. So y'all, this is my nephew, actually, Lenny Rice, and y'all give him some likes and loves. We're going to interview him in just a second. So, hit that pound button, hit that like and love. And then we got my family from Atlanta, GA, LaCane Herndon.
What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Let's give him some love as well. All the way from the ATL.
And we
the new dad. The new daddy.
Love. It's okay to give the brother a like and a love. And we're going to break down their stories too. But every week, we like to be socially conscious and point out, issues of the day. And no doubt, anywhere you see, anywhere you turn on the TV, we got to touch this subject. And about the movement that's going on in the world. And this is a movement unlike I've seen since the 60s, Q, and I'm an old head, The Black Lives Matter movement, if you can't give out a like and love, you should just disconnect.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is something that's taken on a life of its own. And the thing about this is, even though it falls under the umbrella of Black Lives Matter movement, the thing I'm finding so surprising is the diversity within the movement itself. we're finding not only African Americans, but white people, Hispanic, everybody falling in line and falling and joining this movement, because we all are tired of what's been going on, what's been transpiring, and people are outraged now, and they want to see this come to an end. And so by us banding together, it makes us all stronger. So that's one of the things I'm really encouraged about. And I'm also encouraged about this. I don't know if you guys are really paying attention and watching, but our young folk are really taking hold of it.
They dominate.
I mean, this is one of the things, and this is one of the things that gives me hope for our future. I'm seeing that Generation Z and Generation X and millennials taking charge with this thing, and they're out there, and they're showing leadership. And like I said, that bodes well for our future, as not only as a race, but as human beings in general, to see those young folk out here leading the charge in this. And I'm sure you guys, LeCaine, you and Lenny might have your thoughts on this as well.
So yeah, so LeCaine and Lenny, just 3 questions on the screen, and let's dive into them a little bit, because I know we're on an intermittent fasting show, but we got to hit the realities of what's going on in the world. Do y'all think that real change is going to come about on this? What is your thought?
I think change will happen. I'm going to be very skeptical that it's going to happen immediately. I think it's going to happen over a series. It's going to happen over time. This has been going on since civil rights. Once the whole civil rights movement started coming to, once they signed the act, and we started seeing some type of advancements for blacks, it was kind of like sugar-coated over. So those people who didn't have a lot of love for black people, they sugar-coated it, like, okay, we're going to give them a little something now, right? But they still had that hate. I love the fact that there are a lot of, the diversity in the movement. But the diversity in the movement was back in the civil rights also. You had white people marching with Martin Luther King. You had people doing that. But I think there's going to be some change. But hopefully we can speed it up a little bit. I remember my father said, man, I never thought in my lifetime we would see a black president, right? And before he died, he saw a black president.
Amen. LeCaine, you want to add to that? LeCaine, you want to add to that? Before we move on?
Yeah, I'll add to that. I think what's going to happen, it might be small change, but the thing that people in general do, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Latino, is that we have to be consistent in what we do. Everybody lives for a moment.
Yes.
This is a moment. So what happens after this moment? What happens July, August, September? We have to be consistent in what they're doing with not with just the protest, with the mindset change. And the mindset change comes through individuals and organizations who have the higher power.
Yes.
So when we start seeing that, that's when the true change comes. But at this point, it's just this is the real bare minimum of what needs to be done. So I'm happy people are understanding what's happening, but we're still in a moment.
Yes, it's the infancy. To me, I consider it like the infancy of a moment, of a movement. So it's like, I guess it's like your second question, what will happen from there? All right, Lenny, we have to move on, man, because we have to get back to our topics at hand. So let's get back to what we're here for.
Okay, well, tonight's number 2 subject is we're going to dive into a little bit about what will break your fast. Don't make some beginner mistakes. So we'll talk about these things, because usually during your fasting period, you're drinking some type of...
You want to share your screen again, Lenny? You need to share your screen.
Okay. Yep. Thanks for letting me know. During your fasting period, we usually do some liquid diets. Is normally what you do during your fasting period. So we're going to dive into what are these things that will actually break your fast or not. And we'll talk about those things and see what's going on with that. The next subject that we're going to talk about is what's the proper way that you should break your fast.
All right.
Different things. So, what type of things should you introduce to your diet when you come off of drinking a liquid for 16 or 20 hours, and how it affects your body. And some of y'all want some super fast results, Q. Get some ways to get faster results, and we want to touch on some of those tonight.
All righty, great.
But Q, hit the basics, because everybody don't know what intermittent fasting is, and we gotta say this almost every week.
Yes, guys, we always like to go over the basics because there are always people watching for the first time. And the basics of intermittent fasting is it's just time restricted eating is what it actually boils down to. You have the time where you're not eating, which is called your fasting window, and the time which you're allowed to eat, which is called your feeding window. Now we make light of it here with it, make a joke of it, and that's good. It's all about having fun, but that's what it boils down to. Intermittent fasting is time restricted eating. Now it's up to you to choose a protocol. We always recommend for the new person, the person who's just starting out with fasting, because we want it to be sustainable, something you can do for the rest of your life. We recommend starting with a 16-hour fast followed by an 8-hour eating window. And as you advance, you may want to go to an 18-hour fast with a 6-hour eating window. Or you might want to use the fast, which I use most days now, a 20-hour fast with a 4-hour eating window. Or you can go to what I started with, the OMAD, which is one meal a day over a 24-hour period. So those are your fasting protocols, and that's the basics of intermittent fasting. Now, about tonight's first guest. Lenny Knight, I'll let you take Lenny Rice, first of all.
Lenny, we're going to break down Lenny Knight's background. Lenny is a native of Baltimore. He went to Lake Clifton High. Are they still the Lakers?
Of course.
Did his undergrad work at Johnson C. Smith down in North Carolina. And he's a proud alum of Morgan State College Bears, played on the football team there. He works in TV news as a cameraman in Baltimore. Matter of fact, are you out in the field right now, Lenny?
Yeah. I'm out in the field, right? I'm waiting for it to get dark. I got something I got to do once it gets dark.
Okay, and he's the owner of a media company called Rice Media Works. So definitely support him. And this brother is a loyal frat brother. Let me get this right.
Get it right.
Sci-fi, right?
That's right. The bros.
A loyal frat brother at that.
Where did you pledge at, Lenny? What school were you in when you pledged? Was it Johnson C. Or was it at the book?
So I started my process at Morgan. I didn't finish my process at Morgan. Things happened. So I ended up finishing in grad chapter. But
okay.
Things happen, but that's all right. I persevered.
Yeah,
that's all it's about. Persevere.
Yeah. Now, Lenny, before we go into our interview with you, I want to take the time to welcome a couple of people who just came on board. Chevy Lawson is now on board. Hi, we're gonna say hi to Chevy. Want to say hi to Joe Cobb, to Cheryl Hunt, and a few others, Arden Smith, and a few others who've come on board since we last said hellos. So, but Lenny, we want to ask you a few questions. And Lenny, you can take the lead on this once again. I'll handle the game.
Well, a couple questions, because I know you've done other diets before. What type of things have you tried?
Well, of course, when you're in college and you're playing football in college, you always, I've always been a big guy. But, always been a big guy. But when you're in college, you're playing football, you eat, you lifting weights, you're getting bigger. But you know what? At some point, that has to stop. You're still eating those calories, but you're getting bigger. So I tried all different types of. I tried a peanut butter sandwich diet. I tried the fish only diet. I became a vegetarian. It was funny. I read a book.
I never knew that.
I read this book, and I don't know if y'all remember this. I read this book. It was called Skinny Bastard. A friend of mine, she said, read this book, man. And I'm a very visual person. I'm reading this book, and I became utterly disgusted by meat after reading this book. I finished this book on a Monday in November, right before Thanksgiving. And
that's a hell of a time to be a vegetarian, brother.
Man, it drove me crazy. I don't even know if y'all remember this. I came down to Llama's house, And I was like, man, I can't eat this stuff, man. I can't eat this stuff. And then I had to bypass. I had to bypass and I got down, man. But I had some medicine that started putting weight back on me.
Oh,
and
okay.
and then I look up and at my highest, I was at 360, 367 at my highest.
Wow.
After the surgery, my loss was 254, right? I just started this thing out. I weighed myself one day and I said, damn, I'm back up to 318.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I was feeling good, but I was like, man, I'm back up to 318. I don't like being in the threes. And one day I saw what Quavy was doing. I saw what you were doing. And
So is that what you segue in, since you say that, is that what got you into intermittent fasting?
Listen, I saw you and I saw Quavy. I said, man, they're doing a great job. And I think it was your first show. And you said Keith Colbert.
Yeah.
You said Keith Colbert. I was like, damn, I said, damn, man, these are all names from when I was little. I was like, Keith Colbert, Annapolis High, Virginia Tech. You said he dropped 43 pounds. I said, all right, I'm trying. So I tried. That was on a Tuesday. On Wednesday, I said, well, on Thursday, I said, well, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it this Thursday because I'm off on Friday and Saturday. And if I cramp up or whatever, I can go back to eating. So I started it and I ain't been off of it since.
Hey, that's great. That's great.
What are some of your goals? And talk about what goals you have and what method do you use in 16, 8, 24, and what you trying to.
So I'm gonna try to shorten my stuff because sometimes I can be long-winded.
Hey, that goes in the family, brother.
Yeah, sometimes it can be long-winded. But so I started off with the circadian rhythm diet method where it was like sundown or sun up. So I tried that. Right? I said, well, I'm gonna try this. It's 13 hours. That's fine. So I'd stop eating at 7 o'clock at night. And then when the sun came up, if I was hungry, I would eat. Well, I don't know what happened. So it ended up one day, I didn't eat until 1 o'clock. And then it just kept going. I didn't eat till 1 o'clock. I kept eating.
Which pattern are you using now on a regular basis? The one that you really.
So what I'm using now is it's like a balance between 18 and 20. Okay. I might go as short as 17 hours and 50 minutes, but most of the time it's 18 hours. The longest I've been was 21 hours, and that was by mistake, and I wasn't hungry.
Hey, that's great, man.
I wasn't hungry. But
there's a science to that. That's a science to that, which we'll talk about. We talked about in the past, and we'll talk about in the future as well.
I don't want to miss that point because it's really interesting what you just said, Lenny Rice, that you went 21 hours by mistake because not knowing that you wasn't hungry. And that's what some of the things we try to impress upon people about this protocol. The more you do it, the more your body gets suggested and the longer you can go. So real fast, what advice would you give to somebody that's beginning?
Okay, I would say do the circadian diet. I mean, that way you could just start it and ease into it. I drink a gallon of water a day.
Oh.
I drink a gallon of water.
Literally, huh? You got your gallon.
Literally, I drink a gallon of water a day. And I drink it throughout the day. I'm just sipping on something. So it's something always in my stomach. If I get hungry at night, I've only broke the fast once at night, and it was this past Saturday. Because Bailey was like, "Daddy, I left you some chicken, and I want you to eat." And I said, "I'm not hungry," and she said, "Eat." So since my daughter said it, I ate it. But I don't eat it. I don't eat at night. If I get hungry, I'll drink some water, or I drink some green tea, or that's it.
Okay, great. That's great.
Well,
Now
Lenny,
let's go talk a little bit about the Zero app, man.
Oh man, let me tell you something. That app, that is the best app I ever found, and I found it by mistake looking at Lenny Knight's Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Hey, I'm using this Zero app." I saw it. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna download it." I just downloaded it. That was the day that I tried it. Man, that's the best thing. That it's the best app that helps me stay on track.
Mm.
I try not to look at it all the time, because sometimes you find yourself looking at it like, oh, how long have I been on it? But it is the best app, and they now have this thing called Zero Plus, and I think it costs $50 a year
this
or
is it right here.
$10 a month,
This
right?
is it right here.
So I haven't bought it, but I think I might sit there and subscribe to it, because you could break it at any time. But what it does is it coaches you on different things. It gives you like different menus or whatever, so you can sit there and be successful. It gives you a health coach.
Yeah, the
And
coach
lets
is
you
right
know.
here. The health coach is right here.
So basically, it's a resource, another resource that can help anybody, particularly those
Exactly.
new to fasting, and following the protocols and just getting more information that they may need to help this a long-term sustainable thing. Because that's one of the things we always
Right.
harp on, is we want this to be a lifestyle change and not a diet, which means we want it to be sustainable. And this is a tool that will help you do that.
So if you look at it, it'll tell you how long you've gone. I think I'm at 46 days. It'll tell you what your average fasting time is. If you want to log your weight, and I just started logging my weight, because I'm down to 288 now. I'm down to 288. Yeah, I'm down to 288. I was like, damn.
Yep. But it really has a lot of tools on here. And then when you go into the Learn page, it gives you all these different videos you can look at about, how to stay hydrated. It's just a lot of good information for free on the free version of it. So definitely something I would recommend folks, look into and, look into doing that. So look, we want to jump into the next guest. Q, why don't you take that?
Yeah, thank you. Look, tonight's second guest is my cousin from down in the ATL, LeCane Herndon. And LeCane he's a native Philadelphian and went to University High School in Philadelphia, but he's currently and LeCane, I want you to tell us how long you've been in Atlanta. He's in Atlanta, Georgia. He's a graduate of Morehouse College, guys. He's the owner of his own company, We Do Well Cleaning Company. He's the proud father of a newborn baby girl, and she's beautiful, guys. If you see the pictures of him, you'll know. He's a beautiful young lady. A picture to the left hand is with his sister Danielle and his beautiful mother, who's my auntie Shirlene, who we all love. And LeCane is a great guy. LeCane loves people and he loves helping people. So LeCane, I'm going to ask you some of the questions about your journey with intermittent fasting. Have you tried other diets before?
Yeah, being in the gym all the time, you always come across people saying this diet works or this supplement works or whatever. So there's been so many. I probably could do an infomercial right now.
Yes, I feel you, brother. I feel you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been so many, but and this is what I love about intermittent fasting, because it's really a lifestyle change. Everything else is a niche or a quick fix, or everybody's doing this, everybody's taking this, you know what I mean? But this really is a lifestyle change, and something that you can, so long as you have the mindset, something you can really implement on a daily basis.
Yes. I can remember, it was probably a few months ago. It was one Saturday I came on for a brief live, and you popped on and said, Cuzzo, man, I'm so glad you're into intermittent fasting. You told me it was something that you had been doing in the past and you had got away for a little while. And this kind of spurred you to get back into the groove. Do you remember that us having that conversation?
Yeah.
And so, like I said, but intermittent fasting is the kind of thing it's like riding a bike. Once you learn to ride a bike, you never forget how to ride a bike. So you just got right back into the groove. So what are some of your goals right now for your fasting? What are some of your goals that you set for yourself?
Some of the goals I have right now is basically just be consistent with it and not get away from it, and And as I'm doing it,
Yes.
bring others along with it, and also,
Amen, brother.
especially as not say I'm an old man, but I'm 41. I have, and like you said, I have a newborn. So I'm an older father, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I need to make sure that I'm staying healthy, my levels are good, you know what I'm saying? That I'm able to run after her. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like, oh, you stay in the house. You stay in the house.
I love that, brother. I love that.
Cheryl
You know
Book
what I'm saying?
said,
Make sure I stay active.
Lenny, what'd you say, Lenny? I'm sorry.
Cheryl Book telling McCain, congratulations on a new addition to your family. So some folks out there giving you some love.
Give me some love, brother. Give me some love.
Appreciate
all
it.
right, great. But yeah, so LeCain, what protocol do you use most of the time? Do you kind of switch on and off, or what is your fasting protocol that you use most days?
My foundation is 16 and 8.
Yes.
But some days, you know how that thing fluctuates. You don't be hungry. Yes. That thing might go 20. You know what I'm saying? But even when I do break the fast, it's like, okay, let me eat something because I probably have to. But it's not like I'm starving. Because even being an entrepreneur, just being on the go, we know that the easiest thing to do is to pull up to a drive-through window.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the easiest thing to do.
Yes.
But even be on this fast, your mindset is like, nah, I'm feeling good. Because even now, when you put bad stuff in your body, you get so sluggish. Your body be like, nah, we don't do this no more.
Yeah. And Lenny, do you hear LeCain's point? He made the same one as Lenny Rice made, and all four of us would agree on that. The thing about fasting, as you become indoctrinated to it, it becomes easier, guys, every day. And there are times when you don't even feel hungry, and you have to almost like force yourself to eat. And what LeCain just described, which is awesome. Now, LeCain, I know you also you're a bike rider, so can you talk about your exercise, some of your exercise that you like to do?
Oh man, unfortunately, listen, since I started back, I would love to see how it would really be if I was in that gym. But because of the newborn, I mean, we're open up now. You know, Lena always laugh. They always laugh. But you know what I mean, just being careful. I'm not in the gym, so I'm in the driveway, and of course I'm a cyclist, so I love that. But I have the same energy. Actually, when I was riding Friday with my group, they was like, "Dang, you taking off on us? You got this energy." It was like we have a turnaround point, and I was the first one there. You know what I mean?
That's great. That's awesome. And I'm gonna tell you, because the advantage you have over them is you're exercising in a fasted state. And I try to explain to people, whenever you're working out in a fasted state, it gives your workout a tremendous boost. And people don't know because they haven't experienced it. But I'm speaking from the voice of experience, and so are you, that working out in that fasted state is awesome. So congratulations to you on that as well, my brother.
Last question for you, LeCain. What for the beginners out there, people that's thinking about doing this or dabbling with it, what advice would you give like a new beginner to this situation?
I would say just have a mindset, and I think y'all touched on this earlier, but it's no quick fix. So don't have the mindset like, oh, I'm just gonna automatically go into this in 10 pounds. I'll lose 10 pounds in 2 days. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's no BET infomercial. Have the mindset. It's going to take time. It's a process. Let me get my mindset right. Have realistic speculation goals.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And knowing that it's like, especially nowadays, since it's not normal as usual. The days go so fast. You'll be within this thing in a week and be like, oh my goodness, I'm really rocking and rolling right now. So just being consistent and just understanding day by day.
Awesome.
Cheryl Hunt agrees with you that it gives you tremendous energy, and she said that it gets very easy with each passing day, each passing week with the protocol when you're doing it. And Cheryl, you right on with that, girl. Right on. Carrie Pride, thanks for joining in, family. So Q, the next subject is, will this break my fast? And if you're not sure,
man, this is a good topic because there's so much confusion about this. So many people have misconceptions about what they can and cannot consume, which would break their fast. And just looking at some of the things you have on the screen right now, and I can tell you, could you go back to that previous screen, Lenny?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go back to the previous screen. Some of the beverages you had listed. Looking at some of these beverages, and you guys can see the screen. If you looked at you'll see a glass of orange juice. And people want to know, well, if I just have a glass of orange juice, will it break my fast? And the answer is yes, it will break your fast. You see the juices below that, the 4 glasses of juices. Even though they're good and nutritious looking juices, if you would consume any of those, it would break your fast.
We're going to dive into these a little bit later and really go into detail on these.
Yes.
But no doubt. And there's a lot of things that you wouldn't think break your fast, and then some of them might not. So
yes,
we'll definitely dive a little bit deeper on that. But I wanted to show you this this video.
Sure.
This is a brother. His name is Bricks. He's a YouTuber, and he has a channel. You can see he got almost 600,000 subscribers. Brother was big. I mean, big old boy back in the day. And he is cut up now, and he attributes all to intermittent fasting. And he talks about breaking your fast. So just take a look, and then we can talk about it.
And watch how his body transitions.
Bricks Fitness. And this video specifically to address an issue that I've been having with intermittent fasting. I am an avid intermittent faster, or at least I thought I was. I used to drink energy drinks, drink 0-calorie carbonated drinks, and drink BCAAs while I was in my fasted state, thinking that because it had no calories, that it wouldn't break my fast. Now, after extensive research, and I'm not making this video based on research. I'm making this video after the research and after I've actually experimented with the fasting for myself for a few days. So I recently started fasting without anything. I'm just drinking water or black coffee. And I see a huge difference in my body fat and the way my body is responding to the fat. So for all the people who are wondering if pre-workout, if 0-calorie drinks, if energy drinks, 0-calorie energy drinks break your fast, based on my research, based on my own personal experience with the 2 different types of fasting, it absolutely does break your fast, and you are not receiving the benefits of fasting. You are receiving the caloric deficit, which is a big part of why fasting helps you lose body fat, but you are not receiving the full effects of the intermittent fasting if you're consuming those things. Those things do break your fast.
Okay, I'm going to talk about a little bit what he said.
Video, absolutely awesome video.
It is a great video. I mean, brother is
Yes.
really excellent at what he does. You know, he was one of the mentors that I was watching on YouTube when I was learning about this. He's a stickler, so he's probably at a much detailed and higher level when he says talk about carbonated drinks will break your fast, because I think he's probably looking for, that really fitness physique, because he does weightlifting shows and things of that nature. Some of you beginners can get away with some of that stuff because you need to kind of gradually work your way up to that. And I'm sure that his fasting window is really strict, because of what he does. But let's examine some of these things that we talked about earlier, Q. Will it break your fast? And you hit some of these, Q.
Yes.
Herbal
as much as nutritious as they may look, they will break your fast. Because remember, the thing about breaking your fast, anything that has calories will kick you out of fat burning mode. It'll raise your insulin levels. And once it raises your insulin levels, you're no longer in fat burning mode and you have effectively broken your fast. Same for bulletproof coffee. You can have coffee, but only if it's black coffee. No sugar, no cream. Alcohol will break your fast. Creamers will break your fast. Fruit teas, unless it's a certain kind of fruit teas, will break your fast. Now, see, you have some vitamins up there, some pills in there, but that one goes in the gray area, because research I've done, I've seen that vitamins will not break your fast.
Yeah, it's a gray area item, definitely.
Yeah. So, but these other things, the energy drinks and things of that nature, they will break your fast, even though they may be 0-calorie. They can still break your fast. And you say, well, how can they break my fast if they're 0-calorie? Well, a lot of them contain something called aspartame. And aspartame is like an artificial sweetener. And what it does, it fools the senses of the body. And as you consume it, it makes the body think that something sweet is coming in. And when the body thinks that something sweet was coming in, your insulin levels all automatically jump up a little bit, anticipating that calorie coming in. So you have to be very careful with that as well.
There's another good one, Q, Gatorade. People would think, well, shouldn't that be good?
Well, once again, it falls in the same category. Even though it could be 0-calorie Gatorade, it will still break your fast. So will coconut water. Coconut water has calories in it, so it will
healthy drink, not good for intermittent fast.
No, not during your fasting window.
It'd be a good item to break your fast with.
Oh yes, but just not during your fasting window.
Here's one that I used to drink all the time. That bottom one, that Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar drink. Now, why?
Well, actually, Lenny, I would not put that under that category, and I mean, that comes from research and watching some others. One of the things about apple cider vinegar is the benefits far outweigh anything that even the slightest breaking of fast would give you. And most researchers feel that that's something that you can have as long as you're not adding anything else to it. You take it in small amounts. Apple cider vinegar, I would put in the I would actually move to the category that won't break your fast.
This is the apple cider vinegar drink that does have.
Oh no, that one is out.
Right,
I'm talking about just regular apple cider vinegar. It's fine. Right.
Bone broth.
Your bone broth has calories. That'll definitely break your fast. And diet sodas, guys, sodas of all types, but even diet sodas. Now, I know some people who go back and forth on diet sodas. They say, well,
some of these
will it break your fast? I said it probably will.
Perrier water.
Oh, that's fine. You can drink that all day long, twice on Sundays, and that's fine. It won't break your fast. Cinnamon. What is that next to? Is that cinnamon?
Yep.
Well, you have to remove that, man. That has to be removed. I want people to have the correct information. Cinnamon will break your fast because it has calories. And once again, anything that has calories and that raises your insulin levels will kick you out of fat burning mode. Now, it might not take long to come back down, but anything that's going to stop you from fat burning will break your fast. Diet sodas, once again, that's the gray area type of thing because it contains aspartame. Some people say it's okay. To me, I put it in the gray area, and I'd rather just avoid it because it does in the body mixed signals, which can potentially break your fast. It may or may not. It just depends on people. Lemon water is fine. Black coffee, fine. All those beverages are fine. The diet sodas, like I said, I move those in the gray area, and if they could even possibly do it, then I just stay away from it. To me, I'm a purist, and I'll just go with water. Stevia. I wouldn't take that during my fasting window. I just wouldn't take it because of the same situation I talked about earlier.
Some of these are like very close on the fence. And if you take
pink Himalayan salt, is that pink Himalayan salt you have there?
Yes, yes.
That's all. That's fine. That's absolutely fine there. You can add, matter of fact, you can add that, put a little bit of that on.
I think Q, your screen got jammed up for a second. And until you might have to log in, log back out. Let me see if I can get you live again. Let's see. Anyway, you might have to jump back in because your screen got froze up on it. But anyway, I'll continue while you're doing that. Go back to sharing. Might have to jump in and jump back out, Q. Anyway, some of these are on the gray area that Q was saying, and definitely on the gray area. Some of the things that he was talking about, apple cider vinegar, which some people say will break your fast. Some people say it won't break your fast. And I would say some of these, like if you take trace elements of it and not overdo it, you will be fine with some of these things, but don't go crazy with it.
Like you said, Lenny, I use it, but I use it during my feeding window, to be honest with you. But like I said, from research and the research you've done as well, people go back and forth on this, but most people seem to agree, the majority of people seem to agree that apple cider vinegar of this type, the organic Bragg's, is fine during your fasting window.
Yeah, it's as you progress with this too, some of these things you will just eliminate because you're just gonna get more hardcore with your fasting window. So, but we're just throwing out ideas to you now. Somebody asked me about this, Q. How about weed? You know what I mean? So weed
Well, it might increase the granulin, like you said. The only problem with weed, it might give you the munchies. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. And actually, weed can increases the
Might
growth.
give you the munchies. You know what I mean, Kane? You know what I mean, brother? Might give somebody the munchies, so I would stay away.
Yeah.
And Cheryl Brooks also wanted to know what teas are good. And Cheryl, you know, I highly recommend just using green tea. Green tea would be the thing, and with no artificial sweetener of any type, no cream, no things of that nature, because they will trick your body sometimes. So just green tea by itself, plain green tea.
Joe Cobb asks, what about agave in your tea? And to break that down, why agave as well, Q.
Well, agave is one of those things that is an artificial sweetener as well. Personally, like I said, it goes into the gray area as well, because it could conceivably trick your body. Now, what you have to do is you learn things. You'll learn that certain things can trick your body into thinking other things are coming behind it. So your insulin level will spike, even though it may be a no-calorie item, such as agave or some artificial sweetener like stevia. It can trick your body sometimes. So I err on the side of caution, and I just leave it out of the mix during my fasting window. I just leave it out.
Keith Queen asked about beet juice, and beet juice does have calories in it, Keith. So
But beet juice is an awesome superfood, though, during that fasting, during that eating window.
I would say it's a great item to break your fast with. But
absolutely. Can you have any experience with beet juice?
I do beet juice about 3-4 times a week.
Yes. Like I
had
said,
a shot today. So
good question, Keith Queen. Good question, brother. I love that question, man.
Welcome some people that just logged on. Q. We got Stephen Earl, which is an old classmate of mine. We go all the way back to Germantown Elementary and gone up through Annapolis High School. Keith Queen, obviously. Zena Owens just jumped on.
Andrew Williams Cook just jumped on as well. How you doing?
So Q, since we're talking about what you eat and what will break your fast, and let's transition into how you should break your fast.
Okay, great. That's another great topic to cover.
I know one of y'all, Kane, talked about fast food earlier. We talk about that. Chinese food, because I love me some Chinese food, but we're gonna talk about whether that's an item that you should break your fast with. And then if you have an 8-hour eating window, Q, can you eat the whole 8 hours? We're gonna examine that a little bit, okay?
Okay.
And how about sweets when you're breaking your fast? Talk about, the pros and cons of that. Definitely about the meds a little bit. And we touched on alcohol. So I got plenty of experience with that last one.
Yeah, boy. Let me tell you something.
All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real quickly. Consider these things to consider when breaking the fast. Let's take a look at it overall.
And this is one of our mentors as well. This is Edward V.
One thing you really want to focus on is your comfort level when you actually break the fast. Doing 20-hour fasts can do certain things to your body. Things like your digestive enzymes will be depleted because you haven't eaten anything. So your body is not prepared for food because it hasn't gotten food on a consistent basis. And this has affected the mucus lining in your stomach. So your stomach isn't ready to just get pounded with a lot of food. So your body wants to start off with something light. But to actually get it to be prepared for the big meal, you want to do something like eat raw fruits or vegetables, stuff that are very watery, like apple, watermelon for sure, bananas as well. Your body can easily digest them because they're raw fruits, and they will start to kick in your insulin, but not as aggressively as if you were eating a bunch of carbs in one shot. You're eating fruit that has the fructose, it'll start to activate the insulin, and that's what you want to do. You want to activate the insulin slowly. You want to give your insulin a kick and say, hey, wake up, we're about to start eating. But you don't want to just hit your insulin right away with something big in terms of carbs and sugar, because then it's going to shoot up really, really high. You don't want it to shoot so high right in the beginning because insulin levels can take a while to go down. So what you want to do is you want to move it slowly by waking up your insulin. So eating something like apple, banana, those things will do the trick. And because they're easy to digest, it's more comfortable for you.
So that was Edward V. He has a YouTube channel called Fledged Fitness. He has a lot of great content on YouTube. He's excellent at what he does. It's somebody that I watch me and Q talk about Edward V all the time because he just has great information.
No question about it. No question about it.
Give him all the courtesy and credit for, using his videos and helping his channel at the same time. So Q, let's talk a little bit about some things about breaking the fast. And if you just want really great results, and these are some things that, I've learned and recommend. Step number one is don't combine fats and carbs when you break your fast. Now, I'm just saying, when you first break your fast, try not to combine fats and carbs. So like butter on toast, you know what I mean? The butter is a fat, the toast is the carb. Because what happens is the carbs kind of open up your cells, and with the fats, it can allow your cells to take that fat and store it on your body if that's the first thing you introduce to your body after you've been drinking these liquids all day. So the next thing is number two is you need to reduce your cortisol levels just before you eat. It's a good idea to maybe do like a little water and a little cinnamon and a little salt and Himalaya salt, like 10 minutes before you have that first small meal, because that'll reduce your cortisol levels. What that does also is stops fat from storing in your system when you eat that first meal. Q, you want to take number three?
Yes. Start off with a smaller meal initially. I mean, doesn't necessarily have to be a smaller meal, but start off with something easier to digest. As Edward V talked about in the video, you don't want to attack your stomach with heavy foods, lots of carbs, things that spike your insulin really high when you first break your fast. And if you notice, a lot of people will start breaking their fast with things like a bowl of soup, a salad, a piece of fruit, an apple, something of that nature, something that is easily to digest, to get your body used to eating again. And then you can consume more food after that. Just eat that apple first, eat that bowl of soup first, that salad first, and then you can move on to something a little more substantial. But break it with that first. Get your body conditioned to eating once again, particularly if you're fasting, in excess of 18 hours or more.
What about oatmeal?
Well, oatmeal is a carb, and I try not to break my fast with a carb right off the top. Some people do it. So for some people, it really doesn't. It's just a matter of how carbs, everybody's different, how carbs affect you. But I try to stay away from that. Now, I'm not saying I don't eat oatmeal, but I try not to break my fast with it. Maybe I'll have that apple first, then come back with the oatmeal right afterwards. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're doing like a 16-8 diet, and after your 16 hours are over and you do the cinnamon and salt in a little water just to get your cortisols going, then 10 minutes later you're doing your first meal and doing what Q just said. You want to like ease into it because you got 8 hours to eat. You don't have to jam it all up in the first hour or two, So, kind of spread yourself out. And that segues into number 4 here is what you want to do is segue yourself into a larger meal 3 or 4 hours after you into that fast. And that's when you want to have something that's very satiating for you. But toward the end of that 8-hour eating window, you can have a larger amount of protein. And Q shows you where he has his salads and his veggies. He puts them on Facebook every night. And Q, that's when you add more carbs and fats into your meal, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's okay to have that butter, which you talked about. Because actually some things, I don't want people to get the misconception when they hear the word fat, they think it's a bad thing. They're good fats and they're bad fats. And things like real butter and certain other things, they're good fats. Fats are actually good for the body. Avocado. So don't be afraid of some fats.
Some nuts and avocado.
Oh yes, avocado is an excellent source of fat. Omega fatty oils are great fats. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things that are really good fats for you.
Earl Brooks asked, what about breaking your fast with coffee, stevia, and small amounts of creamer? Q, and hit that for a second.
Breaking your fast with that? I wouldn't have a problem with that. Really, I wouldn't. It may raise your insulin levels a little bit, but you're breaking your fast anyway. So I would consider that okay. Sure, I really would. I wouldn't have a problem with that at all.
Mm-hmm. So if there's anybody else out there got any questions?
Lenny, let's take the time to say hello to Dennis Denise White Dennis, who's joined us, and Deborah Wilson, who's joined us as well. I just want to acknowledge people as they come on. And if they, like you said, if there are any additional questions, this is the time to ask them now.
Debbie Wilkinson is one of the people we featured earlier in the broadcast. Debbie, I know you say you're trying intermittent fasting. If you want to tell us how it's going in the chat, that would be good. But congratulations for doing it. I see you and your husband out there getting it in. And I think y'all just had an anniversary too, if I'm not mistaken. So
happy anniversary to you guys. Happy anniversary to you guys. LaCane, you're muted right now. I want you to unmute. I want you to share some of your other thoughts with us before we close out tonight as we move toward the end of tonight's show.
Thoughts for intermittent fasting?
Yes, yes.
I think it's one of them things where, especially within our community, is one of the things that we don't think about how we can improve our health. How can we improve our mindset, our spiritual walk? And I think this all coincides all together.
Yes.
But also going back, it has to be consistent. It has to be a drive. It has to be goal oriented. And what can we do to better our family? How can we get others in our community involved in this thing?
Absolutely, brother.
We see we have high diabetes. We see have high blood pressure, all these different things. Even if we're not active, even if you can't be physical every day, especially in this period of time that we're in, there's still things that we can do to help our body, to help our family, for us to be here even longer. We have generational and see our grandsons and our great granddaughters, just as our family has. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We got longevity in our family.
Yeah, we have a lot of long livers in our family. You're correct.
Yep.
You're correct.
We got
We're blessed in that regard.
Yep. Pop that passed at the age of 94. You know what I mean? We got and Bessie still rocking and rolling.
96.
You know what I mean? So that's what we have to do, and that's how we could have that continual thing go within the bloodline.
You know, and one of the things you mentioned, and we're gonna move toward a closeout, but you know, we always talk about weight loss as a primary benefit of intermittent fasting, but there are so many other levels to intermittent fasting, guys, for our overall health. Just the autophagy that we talk about sometime, and we'll talk about that more, that cleaning up our bodies and cleaning up our cells, limiting inflammation and ridding our bodies of inflammation, which is the gateway of diseases, curing things like insomnia. There's so many benefits, guys, to intermittent fasting. And as LeCane talked about, us being healthier overall. And that's something I'm glad that you made that a point of emphasis, because it's so true. Lenny Rice, you have some closing thoughts as well before we move on?
Well, this is a thought of mine that I've had since the whole pandemic.
Yes.
Going into the pandemic, although this wasn't something that was planned. My goal was actually to come out the pandemic better in some form or fashion, whether it be spiritually, financially, emotionally. You know, I chose health. I said, listen, I got to get my body right. So if I can't get my body right, I can't sit there and work and make that money. So I decided, listen, because you know I like to hustle. I like to
some love. Give that brother some love, y'all.
I like to work. I like to work. I like money. And my kids like money. So, but I coming out of this whole pandemic, I said you have to improve something, and I actually fell into, just by watching my uncles do that thing, and I felt it. And I have been fasting for, I think it's 46 days now.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man.
46 days.
So, for those of you that don't know, Lenny Rice is our nephew, and LeCane is also our family.
He's our cousin from Atlanta,
from Baltimore and Atlanta, respectively. And you know, it's good to see. And I'm gonna jump back to LeCane for a quick second, because you said something about in your spiritual walk. And Q, segue into what you said. Fasting, you know, way back in the day in biblical times, was a method to bring some people closer to their spiritual walk.
Amen. Amen.
I mean, with the, you know, what's going on, people can't go to church as much, can't assemble, and those type of things. it is a great tool to get you connected to that spirit source, to really kind of bring that through and help you in all phases of your life. But look, we've been out.
Cheryl Hunt said, healthy body, healthy mind. So she's right. She's absolutely right. Want to also say hi to Angie Porter, who's jumped on board, and
Paula Harris as well.
Paula Harris, who jumped on board as well, and a few others.
Sean too. Sean Strange jumped on.
Yep. We're going to wind it up for tonight, guys. Next week, we're going to have another interesting topic. I want to take the time, first of all, to thank our special guests, Lenny Wright and LaCane Hearn. Let's give them some love, guys. Let's give them some love.
Thank you.
Spending the time with us. Lenny's actually working right now, or supposed to be anyway. Cameraman, Mr. Cameraman.
Listen, I'm waiting. I'm literally waiting on my reporter to meet me here.
What are you covering tonight out there?
What are you covering tonight, brother?
Okay, so if you continue to watch WMAR, Junction News, tonight we are doing something on Johns Hopkins University trying to have their own private police force.
Okay, great.
So take a look at that, and stay tuned at ABC2 News.
Okay,
we work for you. All that other good stuff.
Nice plug. Nice plug there.
Keep me employed. Keep me employed. As soon as he gets here, then I can start editing. But keep me employed because I like working.
Sounds good. Well, look, guys. Next week we're gonna have another great show. I think next week, Lenny, how about making we might make exercise a point of emphasis, and I'm sure you guys are gonna be on board with it again. LaCane, next time we get you on board, we're gonna explore. We're gonna dive deeper into the cycling thing, okay, and to some of your exercise routines as well.
I would like
both of you guys are going to be recurring hosts. You're going to be recurring co-hosts as we move forward. So I want you to stay plugged in, man. And I just want to commend both of you on your journey. Hope and pray that we'll all just continue to do what we have to do and stay well and watch over one another.
And I want to get some of the ladies on here, like Cheryl.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
to talk about some of their experiences as well. So Cheryl, we're gonna be calling for you to be on one of these shows soon.
Cheryl Brooks and Cheryl Hunt, both.
Get ready, the Cheryls. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Peace and love. Thank you for joining us tonight. Spread the word every Tuesday. Like, love. What do you call it? The next day you do Q. What is that called?
I do a rebroadcast, which is called a watch. So I do a watch party. So guys, please share this. We'd ask you to please share this on your timelines. That's so we can get the word out. LaCane, I'm asking you, Lenny, to do the same thing. Share it on your timelines tomorrow as we get the word out. Thank you guys once again. Thanks everybody who participated tonight and watched for your questions. If you have any other topics, please put them in, and we'll.
Brian Jenkins and Kim Classy Knight, thanks for joining. I know we had.
How you doing, Kim? How you doing?
I wanted to shout y'all out. Love everybody. Peace and love. Y'all stay safe.
Good night, Flower Blossom. Ren, good night.
Good night, folks. Good night, brothers.
All right, good night. Everybody be good. Take care of yourselves.
Love you.